in the limitless void of space.
This is it!
Of terror corrupt, quelling impurity, purging the stream, to beckon forth an ultimate fate. Behold, mighty chaos, Omega's fire to the lofty heavens. I came across this passage while
The weapons. What are they? Nature's protection with the individualized destinies to cancel out anything that goes against the natural order. That's what the weapons are. To keep the planet together at all costs. These kaiju weapons have different purposes. As Omega takes all the life stream and goes to another planet and repopulate the world, Chaos empties the world first. Each of the weapons have a specific role to them to keep the nature in balance. And we're going to be talking about Chaos, or at least the host of Chaos, VII Valentine's biology, starting with the beginning, the weapons. It could even be stated that the weapons, even Chaos and Omega join with the fight with Shiva against Genova to protect the planet. If man got too evil, Chaos wipes out all evil. Omega takes the life stream and restarts and starts over. This all goes back to Sephiroth's mom, biological mom, Lucretia Crescent, all back in Nibelheim, where it all began, where everything has started with the secondary experiments right after Genova. After all, Genova was this was after the time of Genova being unclassified as an ancient, where people thought that was an ancient, where they classified any specific life. This also takes into deep ground as well, or at least the earliest sect, the Restrictors, which unfortunately I don't got no video thing of that because there is no one who has Dirge service online. But going back to the Restrictors of Professor Grimoire Valentine, the one who founded the Restrictor movement, which is also the earliest pieces of deep ground ever got started. To start off, not only Professor Grimoire has taught his son how to shoot guns, but experimented as well, depending on the continuity you find out later on. And then Professor Grimoire's other science experiments later on down the line, or at least a formula that was saved, which will also become a host of another weapon. The Omega weapon will be withheld with one character, and one character that ends up leading deep ground, but still can't face the Restrictors. This goes way back to the history of Shinra's darkest deeds, put on display. And then Scarlet founded the Medical Bay. And then alongside the Scarlet, Professor Simon Hojo has founded on to Professor Grimoire's experiments. After losing the chance with the reunion experiments in Final Fantasy VII with Cloud and Sephiroth, he digitized his mind before he died, put himself into the Ultra Network, to the ultimate, pretty much the ultimate internet. Tried again, but this time using his pure Genova cells on the Omega host, Weiss, to control the weapon, but one can't exist without the other. Because chaos was implanted in Vincent. But how Vincent survived, unlike his father? Professor Grimar didn't do no experiments to make him get a strong and mortal body. After Hojo kills Vincent, from that encounter, he uses his corpse to put several different of the most negative energy beings inside of him. The dangerous, ferocious beasts, the Galleon beasts. The Frankensteinish monster creation created by Hojo himself, Death Gigas. And then the serial killer, one of the strongest serial killers in the Final Fantasy VII history, the Hellmasker. All those genes plus thousands of unnamed experiments, just like he did. This was a test to see what he could make, because this is the same formula he also did with Sephiroth as well. Took thousands of experiments to make the ultimate being. So, Vincent's a scientifically engineered vampire that could turn to a werebeast, turn to Frankenstein, turn to Chainsaw Hellmasker form, and then the dark weapon of all the weapons, Chaos. But Chaos can be with, even though he can't be controlled by Vincent at this point. The point is, this was a template to make Sephiroth's experiment. This was a template used, as you know, in Crisis Core. Thousands of experiments were to make Sephiroth strong enough to handle the Genova cells. Of course, with the cost of Lucretia as well. The Genova cells make it so Lucretia cannot die, but she was in such badly pain and sickness from that, and alongside the Sephiroth's birth. But it's how Sephiroth started out strong and just got stronger. Same stuff was used for Vincent, except no Genova cells. This time it was just genetic pieces from any of these negative life forms. Even though Hojo has dismissed Vincent Valentine as a failed experiment, when he came back to face Hojo as Chaos, Hojo could not believe that this actually was a success, making fun of Lucretia. Lucretia was the one who put the Chaos gene, but out of guilt of Vincent losing his life, she wanted to bring Vincent back to the living, and it successfully worked with the proto-materia. But Vincent cannot control Chaos at this point, but is able to live thanks to all the negative life forms inside Vincent. Those genetics protected Vincent. Even Hojo has stated,
I couldn't believe some fabled beast from legend past had anything to do with your survival. However, 3 years ago, when you transformed into chaos right before my eyes, I must say I was shocked. Who would have thought her theory was actually valid? And so I began thinking, if chaos exists, then so too must Omega. And if you could become one, then maybe I could become the other, to traverse the cosmos in a blaze of glory. It was the chance of a lifetime. But there was a problem. Only a strong shell could hold back Omega's might. And it could not be just anyone.
Hojo, I heard enough. But with Chaos's help, with Vincent's help, and helping him to control Chaos, Chaos can blot out any of Genova's influence. Because how powerful Chaos is. Chaos at his prime would be possibly stronger. So this is why Chaos is necessary. And why the weapons are necessary to the plot of Rebirth. To stop the 7 seconds at the end. To stop all the Sephiroths, Genovas, and Genesis. But my theory is that there's going to probably be a fight where you have to fight Vincent as Chaos. Probably give him holy materia to control Chaos, and then Vincent could turn to Chaos at will, and finally defeat Genova. Because I still think that she would be the final villain in Rebirth. She's still in the way of future Sephiroth's plans. So this is why the weapons are important. Chaos and Omega are important to the plot of Rebirth. Years ago, from Professor Grimar to Professor Hojo to Vincent Valentine, everything is connecting in one. Deep Ground exists in the remake, as you fight Nero in episode Intermission, while the regular stuff is going on in Shinra. Vincent is vital to Rebirth, and I've made a video talking about that before. He's vital to this plan in order to put an end to Sephiroth, Genova, Genesis, and anybody else. But in order for that, Vincent would have to control Chaos early. And if Deep Ground's involved, that means plans for Omega has already happened. But the reason why Vincent survives is because all the life forms he has, not just the beasts he turns into in the game, but the many experiments, the unknown entities you fight in the underground lab in Sector 7 that was the original Deep Ground medical bay that Scarlet turned into Deep Ground. All these and more. It's a connecting thing where it's going to be all connected and makes sense. And since Rebirth's timeline and world is completely messed up, this is going to involve the weapons a lot earlier. They're going to wake up a lot earlier. And with Omega being siphoned for Weiss the Immaculate at the same time of the Sephiroth chase, this is going to change things and rewrite continuity as it is. Vincent will have to learn to control Chaos and all its ultimate power. So you will not be left with a Vincent that's no longer in control of Chaos. Chaos is important. And like in every other Final Fantasy incarnation, Chaos is a force of nature. And in every other Final Fantasy, if humans got too bad, Chaos will always reform and come back, depending on which game you look into. It plays the nature of wiping out all evil, which also explains Vincent's high sense of justice as well, besides what Hojo did to him. Because Vincent himself wants to wipe out evil from the planet. And that explains it. So their goals are in line. Just Vincent wants to be able to control the beasts within, which will get very hard. We're going to have to use holy material earlier on. And this might be the one that saves Aerith as well. Because without the holy materia, Aerith won't have to die. But we don't know what's going to happen yet. You might get wholly from another era from a different timeline altogether. But that's the real reason why Vincent survived, is all the experiments. Even the unknown entities in Hojo's lab sacrificed to make Vincent the immortal body he has today. The immortal body he has today where he never ages a single day. A power strong enough to turn the tides against Genova, against Sephiroth, even future Sephiroth himself. This will be the power needed to stop future Sephiroth's plans. So his genetic potential is what is needed to win the tides in this new Neo-Genova war. And if everything plays out differently, we may face Hojo early on, and Vincent will get all the answers he needs. And maybe there'll be files about his father, Professor Grimoire, that connects everything, that connects that timeline to early Shinra records of every experiment ever. We may even find it in the same library in the basement that Sephiroth was looking at. We may find a secret compartment that has deep ground, the Sphiets, the Restrictors, the early history soldier, the planetary weapons. Thanks for watching this video. Like and subscribe. Follow my Twitch, Kid Roast Chaos Gaming, as well. And if you can, sub.